Don't make it a big deal. What you want to bring into your life is more awareness via meditation. You are aware enough to know that there are sounds, words, and visuals that are triggering you. I have had withdrawal symptoms after several days, where because of hypnoporn I watched in the past, I feel like ordinary words, sounds, and visuals can trigger me. I even sometimes feel dissociation due to these forms of stimuli. What tool should I use when this arises? Is this a deeper mental health issue, or is this just part of withdrawal? Do not make it a big deal. If any of you guys have been watching this hypnotic pornography, I will say that it is a new challenge on the block. But the beautiful thing about the system is that the system still works for this, okay? When you watch hypnotic pornography or things that have a lot of suggestions in them, lots of flashes, a lot of this stuff, what it does is that you do dissociate while you're watching it. And one of the things you need to do is to learn how to be a lot more present. For everybody who has a compulsive behavior with hypnotic pornography, not only is the strength of your boundary really important, which means that even if you were to slip, whatever consciousness you have left, do not slip to hypnotic pornography. That's not even the important part, because I hope you never have to use a technique, so to speak, like that, because it's not really something I teach. I'm just saying it's one of those cases where this is something that is so debilitating over the long term that if you must slip, you might as well train yourself to slip to something else or wean yourself off it. Again, not a part of the system, just an adjustment to something like hypnotic pornography that has become more prevalent over the years. But in your case, what you want to bring into your life is more awareness via meditation. Whether it is a guided meditation in the morning, that's fine. But the purpose is to start identifying the things that are bringing on the triggers, the visuals, the sounds, the things you hear. When they come up, you want to become a master of the dialogue and a master of awareness. This is not something that takes years. This is something that you can become quite proficient in a couple of weeks, but you need to commit to becoming very good at the dialogue. The fact that you can say that ordinary words, sound, and visuals can trigger me means that you are aware enough to know that there are sounds, words, and visuals that are triggering you. If you're like, I don't know what's triggering me, then you did not have the self-awareness, which means there's a lot of hope for you, okay? Start identifying all these visuals and then start using your dialogue or your self-talk to work on that. So the tools for you to use are dialoguing, awareness, and if you want to throw something else in there, it will be your self-talk. Because the truth is, there is a new identity that is formed when you watch hypnotic pornography. And it is the identity of a person who is allowing other people to determine what your sexual behavior is. Maybe you do it as a form of relaxation or whatever, but you need to start changing that that self-image of yourself to no longer being a person who accepts suggestions from, for example, one of mine is that I really don't pay attention to anybody who is not aspirational. And when I say aspirational, that doesn't mean that I don't listen to clients. There are clients of mine, including some of you in the implementation program, that I know in some aspect of your life, you are far ahead of me. And I'm like, man, I'm really aspiring to do that in that area of my life. It doesn't matter what it is. If that person speaks to me about that part of life that I aspire to have, and they are my clients, I will still pay attention to them. But if somebody who's broke starts giving me finance advice, or if I don't know what your net worth is, I'm not paying attention to you. But just setting that as a standard would prevent you from accepting any sort of message about sexual behavior from some entity or some AI or some pornography producer out there. Now, this is one of those things that requires action. It's not something you simply accept intellectually and don't do anything about.